everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to be making this pretty birthday card. So let's get started. I have a piece of the thick basic white just because I like to use the thicker ones more for card bases and tags, and this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and I scored it at 4 1/4. Let me just grab my bone folder here. All right. Then I have a piece of the Country Lace DSP. I actually have two of them. So let me, if they want to come over here, there we go. So the first piece is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And then the second piece is cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. I'm just going to put this all aside right now, and we're going to do some stamping first. So the first thing we're going to stamp is from the Spotlight on Nature. Now this has coordinating circle dies. They're called Spotlight on Nature dies, but we're not using those today. But I'm going to be using this big piece right here, big stamp. All right, I'm going to ink it up with Versamark, and this piece is a piece of basic beige, and this is 5.5 by 4. You just need it big enough that you can fit the flower on as well as the die, and I'll show you the die in just a minute after we get this embossed. Alrighty, so then we're just going to stamp right here in the middle with our Versamark. Give it a good press. And then we're going to sprinkle on some embossing powder. I've got a piece of scrap grid paper right here. Alrighty, we'll sprinkle this on. And then just tap it off. Make sure it got everywhere it's supposed to be. Alright, and I'm just going to tip this right back into the container here. Alright, so I'm just going to blow on it a little bit. There was a little piece in that I didn't like, but other than that, I think it looks pretty good. One more little piece there. Let me actually get... If you don't get it exactly the way you want it to look before you do your embossing powder, then you're going to be disappointed because it will stay once you heat it up. So I'm going to take the heat tool and we'll heat it up now. Alrighty, there we go. So now I'm going to cut this out with one of the countryside dies, countryside corner dies, and we're using this second to largest one right here. So I'm going to bring up my stamp cut emboss machine. Alrighty, here we go. And we're just going to send this through. I'm doing it at a slight angle so that this, whoops, hold on a minute, so that this edge isn't going full force on it, so a corner goes in a little bit. It just helps keep it keep it from being too tight. I mean, it will go through the other way, but you really have to press it sometimes. It's just a little smoother when you off-center it just a bit. Alrighty. So now we've got our cutout piece here, and I'm going to come in with my dark petal pink Stampin' Blend, and I'm just going to color in these flowers. And you can go right over where you embossed. I'm going to leave the leaves the way they are and not color those in. I just like the way they looked, but I thought maybe the flowers needed a little color. All right. Just a little bit more here. And we are all set with the coloring. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp our sentiment. If I can find my papers for it. I had them all together, but they scatter sometimes. This might be it. Let me just measure this real quick. 3 by 3/4, perfect. So this is 3 by 3/4 of an inch. I am going to use this grid paper again. We're going to be using the Sweetly Scripted Happy Birthday stamp. This is one of the online exclusive stamp sets. It's been really popular, I believe. It sold out right away, but they did bring it back. All right, so we're going to stamp in Petal Pink ink. All right, and just go right in the middle here. There we go. So now we need to put this together, and we also need a bow. So I'm going to attempt a double bow on camera. Sometimes it takes me a few tries, but we'll see how it goes. If not, I'll just do a single bow. You can see the double bow here. It gets a little puffier, but I do like the way it looks on this card. So let me try it. So what you want to do is you need, the double bow does take quite a bit of ribbon, but that's okay. So you're going to leave yourself a tail here, and then you're going to wrap it around your fingers twice, and then you're going to come in over this one, and then we need to cut off another tail here. Let's see if I got this right. Then you're crossing that one, and then you're going to tuck this piece in, and then you're going to pull. I probably didn't give myself enough room here. Let's try it. One more attempt here, because it is really pretty when it works. So we're going to pull that in like that. It does not want to stay on my finger, but we're going to try and grab it anyways. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to put it back on my finger. Let's see. I think I've got it twisted now. Let me just untwist it. Sorry, it's taking me a minute, but I do want it to look right. You're going to come up the middle, and then comedy of errors here. Go right under that part, and I did not do it right. So we're going to go with a single bow. We'll just do a single bow so you don't have to watch me attempt. I told you I was bad at it. I can leave a link to someone else who does it a little bit better than me. And you can see how it looked on this sample there. So we'll just do this single bow like this. Oh, sometimes I get it. Of course, when I did it on the other one, I got it right away. But sometimes it takes me 2, 3, 4 tries. And I don't want you to have to sit through all that. All right, so let's see. I'm just fussing with this a little bit to get it to look how I would like it to. That looks pretty good. So we'll use this other part of the ribbon to go around. And this got a little bit frayed on this side. So let me just trim that like that. Okay. All righty. So now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere the Petal Pink DSP right on to the basic beige and white DSP. So we're going to center that on here. There we go. Let me just get rid of this piece. And then we're going to put our piece of ribbon around it. I don't need quite this much, so we won't let that extra go to waste. And then we're just going to center this around. Like this. All right, and then I just fold it over, and then before I do the other one, I just bring it back to the front to look to make sure I have it straight. There we go. Now, this can go right onto our thick basic white base. And I always go over the ribbon again because you obviously don't want it to become loose. All right. Let's see. Here we go. And then this we're going to put up on some dimensionals. All right. Take off the backings here. We are almost done. Get that little piece off. So then this just gets centered on the piece of petal pink, like that. We're going to take a glue dot and roll it up with my finger here. Whoops. Didn't give myself enough. There we go. Just roll it with your finger. And then you can put it on your bow directly or on your paper, however you prefer. And then we're just going to put this right here. And then we're going to use some more seal for the happy birthday. And I just brought it down a little bit so you could still see the ribbon and all of the flowers. And this just goes edge to edge on the basic beige. And that's all there is to it. So here's the one we made. Here is our original. You can see I do like it better with the double bow, so I might go back and replace that afterwards. But thank you so much for watching. All of my links will be listed down below. Have a great day.